Day money is back, still ain't finna cap. We back in the stool, we keep it a stack. The best in the game, you know it's a fact. I'm feeling this beat, so I spit on the track. Day money is back, still ain't finna cap. We back in the stool, we keep it a stack. The best in the game, you know it's a fact. I'm feeling this beat, so I spit on the track. They cooking the beats, we feeding the streets. Still roll got a button, they wish they was me. Been killing the game, making my own lane. We back for part 2, the season is same. This is the theme, we making it slap. Come on the show and you better not cap.
No cap, fam. What's going on? It's your boy Prince Daint. Daint Money, Daint Moolah, whatever you want to call me. I'm doing something because I've been thinking. I've been doing some deep thinking. Do you enjoy the process? I mean, seriously. Do any of you truly enjoy the process? The journey that you take? The path that's been put before you in order for you to have the most successful future you can. You know, I think back about a year ago. I remember I was sitting in the studio of the radio station at my school, Roanoke College. And around this time, I was just doing normal stuff. I had big dreams, I had aspirations, but I wasn't putting those aspirations to the test. I was just talking about it. I was just saying that I wanted to do podcasts. I was just saying that I wanted to be famous. I was just saying that I wanted to be bigger than where I was. And something that I realized is that over time, certain challenges and certain mountains that I had to climb in order to get to where I wanted to be were put there for me to know that I had to get over those obstacles. I had to get over those mountaintops in order for me to get to where I am now. And in all honesty, I'm not where I want to be. But the journey that I have taken so far has been the greatest journey of my lifetime. You know, I used to be an athlete. I was constantly playing basketball 24/7, workouts, training, practice, games, scrimmages. And through that process of playing basketball and constantly getting better and being on the journey, on the quest to be the best that I could be, I realized something. That it was never the result that I loved the most. As I look back on it now, it was the work that I put in prior to the success that I'm most proud of. I need a lot of y'all to understand that you need to ask yourself, what's more important? The product or the process? Because see, the process is the only way that you're going to get the product. Why do I say that? Well, if your process is slow, if your process doesn't produce, you won't have a product. If you don't follow the right process, you won't produce. Understand that everyone has a process. Mine was very slow. It started out as an idea, a thought. Podcast. Okay, cool. Well, what are you going to do next? Well, I need some ideas. What's the name going to be? What's the topic? Well, how are you going to do it? How are you going to record? How are you going to release it? I had to think about all those things. And at the end of the day, I can't continuously talk about it and think about it. I had to do something. So one day I made some phone calls to some people that I knew could help me, that had more resources than I do. Got into a studio, recorded a theme song, and then eventually made my very first episode all the way back in July. And now look where we are. It's January 2021. I recorded hours and hours and hours of podcast footage. Right now, we're on the second season of the No Cap podcast. We've got 2 theme songs, multiple guests, a lot of new music previewed, and also No Cap merchandise dropping in the next couple of months. But how did I get to this point? Well, it was because I enjoyed the process. It wasn't that long ago when it was back in September and I had a very, very small mic and I was sitting in this very room no soundproof padding, no expensive microphones, no idea how to edit a podcast, but I worked. I learned, watched YouTube videos, listened to other podcasts to see how they were doing things. And of course, I always ask questions to people who are listening to me. Well, what do you think about this? What do you think I can improve on? How do you think I can make this show better? And I listened. I absorbed information. And now I'm at this point. But I got here because I had the inner drive. I wanted to be the best that I could be. I mean, listen to me right now. I'm speaking on the microphone. This hasn't been edited. I'm not doing this over and over and over again. This is the first take. I'm comfortable. I'm in my zone. I'm in my element. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. But it wasn't like just one day I hopped in the mic and I started saying some stuff. I see the growth from the first episode to now 8 episodes into a second season. That's pretty amazing. And then I did some more thinking and some more research, and I figured, you know what, why not? Why don't I do a different show? No cap convos. A little bit more raw. A little bit more edgy. More opinionated than my other show, when I do strictly interviews with other people. But I'm giving you different content. I'm giving you different stuff. Because I want you to explore my mind and understand that I don't think like others. But I want you to take some of the information that I have and understand that not everyone's opinion, not everything everyone says is always right. You don't always have to listen to everyone. But understand this. It is good. It's always good to take information from others and learn. Because I've always said this. How are you ever going to develop a claim unless you know both sides? Unless you hear a different opinion. That's how this show has gotten to be where it's at today. I took information from other people who had criticisms and who wanted me to be better. Sometimes I had to delete shows. Sometimes I had to edit things. Trust me, there have been shows I've recorded with people that I eventually had to delete because they were not up to the par of what I wanted the show to be. It didn't reach the stature that I needed the show to be at. Because every single time I'm in this studio, every single time I'm on location, I demand perfection. Because I owe that to myself. I owe that to you, the viewers, the listeners. And I owe that to the process. I'll close this out like this. I have 3 idols in my life. 3 big idols, people I look up to every day because they mean something to me. Those 3 people are Kobe Bryant, Bruce Lee, and Will Smith. You know, Will Smith always talks about how his dad had him build a brick wall, him and his siblings back in the day. And they built it brick by brick. And over time, you build a wall. And that feeling you get of success once you finish building that wall with your bare hands, all that hard work. The wall is the end result. But putting the bricks down, brick by brick, that's the process. That's what gets you to the success. That's what gets you to the end product. That is the drive that gets you to where you want to be. I'm building this show brick by brick. I'm building my career brick by brick. And that's what's most important. That is what gets me to be where I want to be. And I also think about Kobe Bryant. One thing I have written in here in my studio is a very famous quote of his. It sounds funny, but it's some real shit. Kobe said in one of his commercials to Kanye West, he said, "Are you a different animal, but the same beast? See, the beast that lies inside me will never change. I always have that fire, that rage to be the best I can be, to continuously go and come out and be the greatest. Because I want to be the best in this podcast game, but not just podcasting. I want to have my own TV show. I want to have my own media company. So that beast I have inside of me, no matter what confinements that I am in, no matter what constructs I'm put in, I make sure that I am always the same beast. No matter what lies above me, no matter what lies in front of me, I'm always going to try to be the best. Because I always have to change. I always have to adapt. That's what he's saying. Kobe's saying, can you adapt? Can you be in a different environment and adapt? That's one of the hardest things for people to do. Trust me, I've had people say, hey, Dante, I can't come to your studio. Can you come here? Now I have a choice. I can be like, well, I only do my show in my studio. Or no, I had to find a way. Pack my stuff up, found a bag, put it on my back, and I go to wherever people need me. So that way I give the most authentic and best show I possibly can, because I have to adapt. I'm going to leave you with this quote from one of my biggest idols, Bruce Lee. And it's a quote that I eventually hope to have tattooed on my arm, because it really means something. Because if you really listen to what he says, it's all about adapting to different situations. It's all about understanding that you can never do something the same way all the time. You always have to adapt, because things are always changing. The quote goes like this: empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. You put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put water into a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Always learn how to adapt, people. Because once you master the ability to adapt to any situation, ain't nothing can stop you. No cap, fam, I appreciate you for taking a trip into my mind. And I promise you I'll do much, much, much more shows like this. Very quick, very short, but very informative. But for the first time, this is a trip into the mind of Prince Daint. Peace.